goes aside from my soul. There goes aside, there goes aside.
Hey, what is going on, and welcome back to another episode of Macro Friendly Monday. And as always, these meals must 1, taste good, 2, fit the macros, and 3, fit the budget. Today I'm cooking up a meatball sub on a homemade herb roll and a homemade tomato sauce that you can have in just 10 minutes. So hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get cooking. So to start off, we are going to cut up some vegetables that we're going to use in our meatballs. So first, I am dicing up a quick onion and then going to crush up some garlic and mince that up fine. So I'm doing 3 cloves of garlic right now. Half of it will be used in the meatballs, and then half of it will be used in the sauce that we're going to make in a bit. For the meat, I'm using 1/2 pound of ground chicken and 1/2 pound of 90% lean ground beef to try to get a little more protein in. And then all we're doing is going to throw in our minced onions, our minced garlic. We're going to crack an egg in there, and then add in some red pepper flakes. It's probably about a teaspoon. And then obviously some pepper and salt to taste. And keep in mind, you can adjust flavors if you want. If you wanted to add some oregano or something like that, feel free. This is just what I decided to do. I'm also going to add a small shaving of Parmesan cheese, give it some extra flavor. And then we're going to mix this all together until it's well combined. And if you feel like your meat mixture is a little bit wet, I would try adding maybe some breadcrumbs or something like that. And then once this is mixed, I'm going to throw this in the fridge and let it firm up for about 10 minutes while we do our sauce. And now I'm going to show you a really, really simple sauce recipe. This is always my go-to, super fast and really tasty. So I'm just cutting some fresh basil into ribbons that I had from a pot in my backyard. And then we're going to actually throw these in at the end of the sauce. So to start building it, I'm throwing just a little drizzle of olive oil down. It's probably about 1/2 tablespoon. And then I'm throwing in probably about 1.5 cloves of garlic, letting that simmer. Then throwing in 1 can of tomatoes. And make sure you get no salt, because then you can control how much salt you want to put into it. And then let this simmer for about 3 minutes on medium-high heat and cover it. So this is after 3 minutes, and I'm just giving it a quick stir, and then I'm going to turn this down to low for about 3 or 4 more minutes. And now I'm coming in with an immersion blender, and if you want to avoid having to use a blender, just buy tomato puree instead of the diced tomatoes. And we're going to get this into a nice sauce consistency. And now just coming in with those ribbons of basil, and the heat's off at this point, just stirring it in and letting those fresh flavors blend into the sauce. And this sauce is super, super simple and flavorful. It's my go-to for pizza, pasta, lasagnas. So definitely learn how to make that. Super easy, but really takes your cooking game to the next level. And now we're back to our meatballs. So this is after 10 or 15 minutes in the fridge, putting them into balls, and then we'll be ready to sear them in a cast iron. And now we're ready to sear. And when I sear meats, these are kind of the 3 things I focus on. 1, make sure your pan is hot enough. So usually medium-high heat. 2, I like to put a thin layer of oil down. And 3, make sure you do not overcrowd the pan. And if you focus on those 3 things, you'll find a lot more success when you're searing meats. And then as these are browning on one side, I'm just going to roll them. And then going to roll them once again, so we kind of get 3 sides are going to be seared. And since these are smaller meatballs, that'll be most of the surface area. And then instead of throwing these into the oven, I'm actually going to pour in a little bit of sauce with the meatballs and then let them steam for about 5 minutes to finish cooking. So that's about half the sauce. And then I'm just going to throw a lid over it Turn the heat down to medium-low and let them steam for about 5 minutes. And for the cheese topping, I'm actually going to use cottage cheese mixed with Parmesan. I like cottage cheese. It's pretty mild flavor, and it has a lot more protein than other types of cheeses. If you didn't want to use this, try out maybe some ricotta or mozzarella. And then here is an herb roll that I made, and I was going to throw it into this video, but I thought it'd be pretty long. So this is going to be in a separate video coming out next week. These are homemade rolls with oregano, red pepper, super simple and easy. Great sandwich roll to know how to make. And then just to complete our sandwich, I'm going to put a little bit of sauce on both sides of the bread, and then put our meatballs, and these have been seared and then steamed for the 5 minutes. Load them up, then throw our cheese mixture over top. And then I'm going to put this in the toaster oven under broil. If you don't have a toaster oven, just use your regular oven. So this is after being in the broiler for a couple minutes. I'm going to top it with some more fresh basil. And there we have it. Crispy crust on the outside, juicy interior from those meatballs, cheesy, and the freshness from the basil. Here's the nutrition and price. So 545 calories, 43 grams of protein, 40 grams of carbs, 22 grams fat, and then the price is $228. So that will wrap it up for this video. And be on the lookout for my next video. It's going to teach you how to make those herb rolls. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.